Just
I karaoke.
God, I love this song.
I know, right? It's amazing.
3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody! Grant Miller here! We got Tony from Seminole. We got Catherine from Seminole. And we got Kerry Black.
That lady.
That lady right here. You know what it's called today? South Dade Shoutout for the chamber. Okay. Which one do you sing? Give me a little bit. Give it to me.
Tony's done one.
Come on.
Do it, please, Tony.
A little.
Please,
Just one.
please.
Go ahead.
What are we singing?
This song.
America.
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 All right. So they want to sing. Okay.
All of a sudden, they got stage fright.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got
They're
stage
scared.
fright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Studio fright.
You know, there's hidden gems everywhere in every city, every county. And in Homestead, people don't realize you're with the oldest or second oldest chamber.
Second oldest chamber in Miami-Dade County.
Right. And most people didn't realize that it went from the city of Miami, blank, then to Homestead. And most people don't realize that Coconut Grove Bank opened a branch down in Homestead.
Homestead.
Homestead because of the farmers. Mm-hmm. So there's such history. So why don't you talk about your theater? Because it is a hidden gem.
Absolutely. So I am the director of the Seminole Theater, and
Yeah!
She's amazing.
thanks, Gary. So I'm the director of the Seminole Theater. Just a little bit of background about the history of our beautiful theater. It opened up in 1921 as a movie theater. It survived like that for many, many years, and then a little bit of tragedy stuck when Andrew came through, and it destroyed the building. So, after that, a decade later, jumped to 2015, which is when we opened up as a performing arts center, as we are today. So
I was there for that. I was there for that
You were
grand
there
opening.
for
It's
that?
awesome. Yes.
Unfortunately, I wasn't there on the first day, but I started
Okay.
a month after the doors
Oh,
opened.
did you? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very, very
Great.
lucky to be there almost from like right the beginning. And then we operated as a performing arts center where we do comedy shows, musicals, all kinds of incredible things. We bring in national touring artists as well as showcase some of our incredible artists that we have in South Dade, specifically Homestead. If any of y'all have ever gone to our Seminole Theater Players shows that Tony helped put together, our director, we have done things like The Little Mermaid, award-winning Aida. I think we won the award for, do you remember that name?
We won 7 Broadway World Awards.
We won 7 Broadway World Awards.
Wow!
Hey,
Wow!
seven.
Congratulations! I did not know that. That is. Hey, hats off to both of you. That's
And I
it's
mean,
no small feat.
These actors are beautifully trained, and they're just community folks, and I think that's the most beautiful thing about the theater, that not only can it have national touring artists like Art Garfunkel, Judy Collins coming through, but we get to showcase some of our incredible talent. Right?
So let me ask you something real quickly.
Did you do a watch
I
party?
had tickets.
Yeah.
I had tickets to go see the Journey cover band,
Yes.
and which was like March 24th. But a week earlier, the world shut down. Are they going to come back? I was so excited. I was celebrating my birthday with my sisters and my aunt and my best friend, and that didn't happen. So we're putting it on hold. Can you guys get them back? Can you get them
So
to
the
come back?
beautiful news is that on Friday was actually our first show, so we officially are opened up again, which is great. Yes,
Yes.
very, very excited for that. It was 8 months and 12 days. I literally counted how many days we were closed.
5 hours and 9 minutes. Yeah.
5 hours, 9 minutes, yeah. And yeah, we're bringing back a lot of shows, but we are also bringing back Departure, which is sponsored by K&G Cycle.
Yes!
Homestead.
Dr. George Maracas,
Yes,
board
he's the
member
best.
of everything. Amazing.
Amazing
Yep,
man.
Yep.
So yeah, we're bringing them back next year. We have saved all our larger shows to start in January, but there's so many things just happening between now and then. Like our comedy show on Black Friday. I say you skip the lines and the craziness and just come down to the Seminole Theater and have a good time with us on a comedy show.
Great idea. Great
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
So what were you guys doing in the midst and the height of COVID-19 and just trying to, keep the doors open? And because we just finally, just a couple
Right.
years earlier, just finally opened those doors,
Right,
only
right.
to have them, close back down again because of COVID-19. Tell them some of the stuff, the exciting stuff that you did and some of that behind the scenes stuff that we don't even know about.
More important, is there beer and wine sold in there?
Absolutely.
Okay, because people are going to call me and go,
Delicious
"Hey, is there beer there?"
Because
wine.
what do we
We're
promote?
from Homestead.
What
We
do
don't drink out of
promote?
spigot. We want a canned beer.
There you
With
go.
the koozie.
Whatever.
With the koozie.
Well, I mean, yeah, we closed down, and at the beginning it was kind of playing catch up. No one was prepared for this, really. So luckily we are creative people in a creative field, so we had to
Helps in COVID.
Exactly.
COVID equals creativity.
Exactly, yeah. So we came up with something called the Seminole Cyber Series. So there was different things we did where we did workshops to teach some folks about how to build sets or perhaps how to do a choreography or things like that. But then we went a little bit deeper based off what was happening around us. And, you know, Tony and I came up with an idea and we actually came up with, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah,
Sure.
wait, before you go, Tony, who funds the theater?
The city of Homestead. The building is from the city of Homestead.
No, but who pays for the performance?
We do, yeah. I mean, I look for the acts, and then they kind of pay for themselves, you know, depending on what I book and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So definitely the support of the community has been an integral part of this surviving because the funds come from the shows themselves. So if you guys don't come to the shows, then the
There's
shows
no
can't happen.
theater. No
so
theater.
luckily it's been like this since we opened up in 2015. We've progressed and it's gotten better and better and better. I remember being at one of our first shows and we had 100 people there, and you know that's a little disheartening. But now Kerry has seen it, and Tony has seen you come to our shows, especially our Seminole Theater Players shows, and we're sold out. We have to add shows.
So those are my favorite. Those are my favorite when you go and you recognize some
like
of the
to hear.
actors and things like that because they're, you know, and the kids. And that to me is truly a community actors playhouse. I mean, it is the quintessential actors playhouse, and just what again just separates South Dade, what separates Homestead from, you know, the rest of Miami in all the good ways.
Exactly.
There's a quaintness about that. There's a hometown feeling about that, and I think what was it, Hair? I went to see Hair with my
Hairspray?
husband.
Hairspray.
Yes.
That, I mean, we walked out of there like, people walking out there is on cloud nine.
Right.
It was such a great performance, you know,
Right.
by local actors and
I was
artists.
just going to ask you, Tony, where are the actors from? Are they from the Keys? Or are they from Homestead? Or what part? How far do they drive?
They actually,
And do you have a spot for a guy 60 years old, kind of bald, kind of fat?
yeah.
Okay,
Very
I got
special,
one.
very special place for
Tree
you.
number
Very
3.
special.
Got a special top of the. Okay, so where's your farthest performer comes from?
I was North Miami on the Broward line.
Wow.
Now, the actors don't get paid in community theater, so
Right.
they have to volunteer to come down. But when they saw who else was coming down to play with us, they
I mean, like you have a star who gets paid.
no,
No, not on the
none of the
community
actors
ones.
get paid. So when
That's a role that I get hired for.
yeah,
I got an opening in.
well, it's still pretty competitive, I must say.
And it's great for the resume
Yeah.
as well.
Well,
And
Exactly. So first of all, we try to choose shows that actors would be interested in playing these, you know, some of these major roles in. And when they get there and they see all the other talented people, then they really are upping their game because they want to be in this ensemble cast. And so this reputation has started to spread so that these people are willing to drive 3 and 4 times a week during rush hour from North Miami, from Broward, from Key Largo to be part of our shows.
Any of your performers get to the next level and the next level?
Yeah.
By the way, if you do Superman, that's a newspaper guy.
right.
So I can fit right in it. I'm about 40 pounds. I'm
Shameless.
40 pounds
Shameless.
overweight. I'm 40 pounds overweight, and I don't have. I can wear a wig or something.
We'll get you a
Some
trainer.
special
we've
effects.
got-
We'll
we've
get
got
you a trainer
special,
from one of our
makeup
fitness centers.
All right.
artists.
So you have people. You got people from. Do people from the Keys come perform too?
Yes.
It's exciting.
And
So
Hairspray
exciting.
had a lot of people from the Keys
Yes.
come in, some of our
Yeah.
major players there. And a lot of them also are auditioning for movies, commercials, Actors Playhouse and professional theater and equity theater. They've been able to kind of move up into that level too, and they still come back down to play with us because of the environment that we have. So I've also worked in professional theater, and I have to say,
What is professional theater to the layman?
like Actors Playhouse,
Right.
Which is an equity theater.
What's it? Equity? What do you mean by
Equity is like, do you know what Screen Actors Guild is for
that? Yeah,
actors?
the union.
Yeah, it's kind of the equivalent of that with theater. So you have to have done a certain amount of equity gigs in order to get your card, and then you're able to audition for certain roles. They also open it for people who are not equity, but if you are equity, you get paid a much higher rate. You get different
There you
benefits with that. So
Better-
I got an
Start getting
opportunity,
paid.
but it's
Are you
interesting.
equity?
I'll be equity, but
Okay.
it's as a layman, I go to Actors Playhouse. I go on to Arts Center, who's now they're taking the show on the road. They're trying to get the
Figure it out.
Yeah.
they figured it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like I always wonder, do they get paid? I'm in my head. So those people get paid.
Yes.
Even the backup people get paid.
Yes. So in equity, yeah. So everybody gets paid in professional theater. I guess unless you want to volunteer and they accept you, but
I will if you have an opening.
in general. But in community theater, it's the only people that get paid are the staff. So it's like the director of the show, the music director, the choreographer, just maybe like 5 or 6 positions.
You know, it's like when I go to Actors Playhouse, the fans. What do you call them? The people that are watching. You call it fans?
Patrons,
Audience?
yeah.
Audience.
Yeah.
It's a completely different roar at the end. They really appreciate at Actors Playhouse. People are standing and cheering. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. So just to let you
Is
both
that how it is?
know-
They have to be at our community. I think we'd give them a run for their money.
Yeah.
Like it's a pretty supportive group.
Do they when they come to your theater? Do the guys tie up their horses and leave the horses outside? Do they leave the cat? Oh, that's not. Oh no, they're like that.
Well, if you see the pictures of the Seminole Theater back in 1921,
That's how it was.
Right.
Yeah.
you see
Yeah.
some-
But it is people don't understand. We talk about this every day. Redland and Homestead is another world. It is not the old world of back then. It's completely changed. You know, you guys are the home of the number one industry, the agriculture. It's the number of tourist economic engine. And I remember when Homestead City Hall was being built. Everybody said, "Oh my God, it's too big! It's too big." It fits it now.
Yeah,
It
the
definitely fits.
last swearing in that we had, the place was packed. It was barely even standing room only, and that just goes to show, how it's grown and matured and morphed into a bona fide, city in Miami-Dade County worth standing up and looking at.
And I think the Seminole Theater was kind of step one in that revitalization of downtown Homestead. Showing its success and how supportive the community was. Then different projects started to develop, and then even more people want to be part of that. So I do think that specifically our theater had a big role to play.
Absolutely.
In what's happening there.
Yeah, and my understanding is I don't know what the conversation will be today, but I'm going to have a chat with the city manager this afternoon, and I know that they're looking and pushing towards having the downtown Losner Park renovated and revitalized. That is going to be spectacular, and what a beautiful compliment it'll be. And will you guys at some point in time be able to do it like almost indoor, outdoor, where you have a big screen on the side of the wall and you can watch it? If you can't get inside, you can actually watch it outside. It's being videotaped at the same exact time. I've just dated myself horribly there. But and that's super exciting to bring people into downtown Homestead, bring your families, have this gorgeous right smack in the middle of downtown Homestead Park, have a couple really cool restaurants to be eating at. I'm working on bringing down a few. And it's really good, really clean eating, organic eating,
beautiful.
some fast, fast, quick, take it back to your office, others that sit down dining and that kind of thing. I know Kamitra Driver, she's really pushing because that's the CRA area as well.
We cut Tony's head off, but that's the thing. That's
That's his hat.
Right there.
okay.
Yeah.
That
See
is
if
the
you
theater
can
at night.
find one of those like in the grand opening.
That is
Tommy.
it's beautiful.
It was so exciting.
Do they
Yeah.
when you go in that theater? Can you? Well, I got to look at Tony because he's an actor. Okay, but in the theater, are there pictures of the old theater?
So actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. I think 3 days ago we were cleaning out one of our sheds we have in the back, and we were able to find these, not only the plans of the theater now, but before. So we're working on getting all that, put up on frames and all that, and we're going to have it.
Nice.
displayed throughout the theater.
I love going into old places that are remodeled and go, wow.
Right.
Wow. I love history, and Homestead has so much history. People don't realize the history of it. And by the way, most people don't know Homestead has its own power company.
It does, yeah.
Yep.
Most people don't know it.
Yeah, they do. It's a self-contained city right there.
Yeah.
We
It's a
can
beautiful
keep on
place.
moving.
Well,
It really is.
Tony grew up there, so he understands.
Absolutely, and I'm on the board of the Friends of the Historic Seminole Theater, so that was the group that was in charge of trying to restore the theater from the 90s. So it was about a 20-year project to get.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm in my 40s.
No.
God, he looks good, man. They feed you good at Homestead. Holy cow, because you
Clean eating, clean eating.
good
Yeah.
eating, good eating. So you went to high school down there, but you watched the theater change.
Well, there was no theater when I was.
What was it when
yeah.
it was an old
It
beat up?
was abandoned
Yeah.
pigeon.
Yeah.
Home for pigeons.
Were you a performer in high school?
I was, and there was absolutely nothing there for me. So I had to go to Miami, to University of Miami, and a lot of the kids in that town that were talented
In Homestead.
didn't have family that were able to take them there. So that's been one of my missions, is to build programs in Homestead that allow for talented kids there to be able to, have careers, go to school, get scholarships.
Yeah, it's exciting because you've seen the whole thing from when it was I remember driving down to Homestead. You go, what is that place? It was I knew what it was, but it was all beaten up. It wasn't open, and you guys are making it move forward. And it's exciting, not for Homestead, Greater South Dade, because people from Cutler Bay to the Keys, beginning of the Keys, you have 2 theaters. You have the one, South Dade Culture Center, and you guys. So it serves the area well.
Very well.
Sure does, yeah. And I think it serves Key Largo and the Keys really well. I think we have a huge audience base down there as well, and they come up and they love what we have.
Yeah, they have dinner in Homestead, and they go. Where would they go? Which which restaurant should they pick?
Chefs on the Run is right there. 4-8 is right there. There's both are great restaurants.
So when are you guys going to open?
So we are open. We opened Friday. We had our
This
first,
past Friday?
Yeah.
Wow.
We
You
had
missed
a
it. You
very
were back
successful-
messing around Tommy.
I wasn't.
Yakking over there.
I was yakking. Okay, so how many theater holes? How many?
So we have 420 seats in the theater.
Holy cow!
Yes, 420. But obviously, with what's happening around us, we're social distancing. So depending on the trending, on the buying
100 people,
pattern,
100.
between 120 to 150.
And how many showed up on Friday?
So I did 2 showings, and it was a full house for both of them. So yes, well, thank you to our audience for trusting us and coming
Yeah,
back.
that's exciting.
That's what's important. I think I wanted to make sure that they felt safe and that they knew that we can provide a safe space to provide all the.
Did you perform?
Did I perform on
Yeah.
that? No.
Tony, I'm not going down there unless you're performing.
Well, you'll see me perform. When I plug our Christmas show, I'll tell you a little bit.
Okay.
about it.
He not only is an actor, but he also plays an instrument, at least one that I'm aware of.
Which one?
Yeah, so I'm a violinist and pianist, and I mainly work in
Renowned, I might add.
Super talented, super
the Art
talented.
Center with the Miami City Ballet, which we're on hiatus for a little while right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But for several other groups around town. But the South Beach Chamber Ensemble, that group is still going strong, and we're doing virtual performances. So
I see that. I was voting earlier and I had to have my license out.
All right, so it's all exciting because when we grow up, we all, as kids, we all think, we can't help it. I want to be an actor. Not everybody lives it, but
For
what?
me, it was like I can't be an actor, so I'm gonna help.
It doesn't matter. It's like athletes. If you can't,
Right.
if you can't play, you coach. If you can't
You
coach,
do.
you manage.
You can't
if you can't
do, you
manage,
teach.
you own.
There you go.
But as a kid, y'all go, I could do that. Oh, I want to be an actor because we all pretend we get the little mic and we go, hello. We all sing but it's exciting that you like that.
Talent
there is a place for you.
There's a place. No, but everybody, kids when they're young, they decide want to be, and whoever wants to be an actor or an actress, it must be a long, brutal road
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to get to Actors Playhouse, and then to the next step and the next step.
I mean, we've developed some incredible youth programs at the theater. We have the Seminole, under the Seminole Theater Players umbrella, we have the Seminole Theater Players Junior program. So basically,
Don't
they
even go there,
get
put it
the
back.
real experience of what going out for one of these big shows would be like. Do you want to talk a little bit more about
Sure.
that?
I mean, I think that we have some of our kids in the junior program. I would not be surprised if they made it to Broadway.
Absolutely.
Wow.
They're really talented kids that normally would either have no place to go, or if they did have a place to go, they would have gotten sucked up somewhere up north and wouldn't have kind of our stamp from our flavor of Homestead. That's part of it, that we were part of, helping them grow.
Every time you turn the TV on, you watch a movie, and you go, I'm an actress, but he or she is waiting tables, or I'm going to be an actor, but I'm valet. So I see it's a long road, and it's exciting that people have that opportunity. You could show them the pathway to success, whatever success is.
Exactly. And it's important for not only venues but organizations to make those opportunities available to them when they're young. When we get them when they're, I don't know, like 7 and up to 14, 15 and above, so that they do have the opportunity for that road. So,
Right.
There's a different organization called Aventura Marketing Council, Lane Adler. She has a show for kids, Shining Stars or something. You should call Lane and ask her about 932.
Okay.
I don't know if I can remember. 932-2334. Don't you hate to? You don't remember, but you know how to punch it. But it's exciting because do you have programs young enough for elementary kids yet in high school?
Oh, absolutely. We have a summer camp we are going to be. The 2021 will be our 4th year. We take 40 kids every summer. They learn the ins and outs, how to audition, how to read, like a script, how to do it correctly, how to create costumes, how to do makeup, what the tech side of that world looks like.
And how expensive is it?
So it's beautiful because we do get help from grants from the Culture Affairs.
For Homestead.
Yeah, the Miami-Dade County.
Oh, very good. Culture.
Yeah, so they do help us. So basically, about 80% of our kids get scholarships. No
Wow.
one's paying full price.
That's great.
And we get to provide jobs for our artists in our community. We definitely go out to the pool of people that perform and are experienced on our stage to teach our kids now.
When you use the word artist, or she used, what is an artist? To me, it's somebody isn't.
With a French mustache and a
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, but what is an artist to you guys?
An artist is anybody who is engaging in the performing arts. So it could be a singer, it could be a dancer, it could be an actor, anybody who is teaching, anybody who is performing one of the performing arts.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting.
I agree with that in our field, kind of that spectrum.
Yeah.
That would, yeah.
Can I add a little bit also, just the value of having Seminole Theater, especially in our area. Our offices, we see each other. Hey, Catherine, that's so cool. Our offices are right across the street from you guys. We've had some South Dade, not shout-outs, what were we calling back then? A spotlight on South Dade.
Okay.
You guys let us to rent the place from there, which is a great venue to have presentations where the whole community came in. A lot of realtors, developers came in. We got to demonstrate to them, what's going on in the South Dade community, right from the heart of it all, right there. And then I know that last year, and we were talking about doing this again, by the way, just to let you know, last year our Military Affairs Committee put on a Nashville Hit Songwriters round, had
That
three.
was the best.
That was amazing. We had 3 songwriters from Nashville came down, sang their songs that normally other famous artists sing, and they told us the background story behind why they wrote that song. And I tell you what, and we put it on all for the military. We wanted to give them, just a nice night out, not have to pay for anything like that. Bring their spouses, just have a great time. We're talking about doing it this year. We have one night specifically just for the military. Fill that place up, and then the next night have it open up to the community as well. Like have it 2 nights. Maybe one night inside Seminole Theater, and we'll see how the park is looking then, and maybe we can do one out in the amphitheater as well the next night. But without having this venue, without having there are such limitations. And you become, one thing I love, and we talk about the Redland and all the gorgeous venues out there or whatever. But again, South Dade offers these venues that are nowhere else to be found in the rest of Miami-Dade County, and definitely Seminole Theater is yet again another venue that offers not just for actors but for business owners. I know I don't know if they still happen, but churches would rent the place out on a Sunday morning and
That's a service.
have a church service
literally
there. Right.
But it provides a service for the
Very
community.
much so a community
yeah.
venue.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Just like you're saying, Kerry, apart from all the shows that we bring and the national tours that, I bring in, it is a hub for our community, for our business owners, for our schools, for our, for dance.
Graduation service.
Yeah, we do tons of amazing things
ceremonies.
So yeah, just being able to have a space in Homestead, I think, is important, and somewhere where someone can express themselves either, artistically or wanting to, put on a conference and put out their work out there. So yeah, that's.
A couple questions. What year was it built again?
1921, the first time around.
Okay, and this new one?
2015 is when we reopened.
And whose idea? What elected official said we need to move this story? Do you know?
So definitely at the time, I know we had, correct me if I'm wrong, Kerry, George Grutz's.
Yes.
Yes, he was so supportive in making sure that the theater was successful.
And he is?
Yeah, he was a city manager at the time.
Okay. That theater is in towns. It's the centerpiece. Like, even though it's not in Cutler Bay, the Culture Center is part of Cutler Bay. In Pinecrest, they have, I call it the Parrot Dome, but it's Pinecrest Gardens. They have the big dome.
Right.
They had John Cicada do a virtual.
John Cicada open up for us in 2015.
Right.
Okay.
So he was my teacher in college. So
He lives right down. He lives right down the street here.
So I called him and I was like, "Hey, will you come do this?" And he said, "Okay."
I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know him, but his wife is wonderful because I met her through Her
Mari,
family.
yeah.
Well, her sister's in the baseball world, so Villar's family. But Coral Gables has Actor Playhouse. They have Gables Stage,
Right.
and they have some others. So theaters pull the community together. And Homestead, that whoever that city manager was, pulled Homestead up higher and said, "We're going to do this because it builds a community."
Right.
So congratulations to the city manager and whoever the mayor was.
Well, I'll say that the main way that it got on the ballot for the community to vote was through the Friends of the Historic Seminole Theater. That was the group that was pushing from the 90s
Very
to
long
make
time.
sure that it got, somehow it got built. So they went through quite a few avenues. I think they were trying to get certain grants in order to get it. It wasn't working out, and then finally they were able to get it as a bond issue, coupled with the police station. So the people got to vote, and the people voted for it.
Yes, it's
Right.
exciting. If you go through all the cities, Aventura has a community, a culture center. All the new cities are, Miami Beach. They have I call them grandstands. I don't know what they're called, but the shell.
The amphitheater. Amphitheater?
Yeah, but by the way, the new expressway being built to Miami Beach, underneath, when they finish, there's going to be a bunch of little grandstands. I call them grandstands, a little thing, before performers, whether it's music or acting. So I think, we're all performers in life.
In some way, yeah.
So, exactly. So I think it's exciting. So every city has it, or trying to have it. And the ones who don't, you can feel they don't feel part of a community.
You're right.
And you guys don't represent Homestead. You represent South Dade to the Keys. So congratulations to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think any city is complete without having their own performing arts center there. So like I said, when I was growing up, there was nothing in that area for us, any of the kids who were wanting to pursue something further in the arts, whether it was music or dance or acting, they couldn't stay there. They had to leave. So by having that there was like, it opened up classes. It became this artistic educational center. In addition to being the performing arts center, it's filled with kids and youth and dance classes.
So the high schools do performing shows there?
They do actually, yeah.
It's
We have
so much
several high schools
nicer
that come.
not to be on the stage in your high school that's
In the cafeteria.
in the
Some
cafeteria.
high schools
Yeah.
actually develop their arts or drama program because they now have a theater to perform
That's
in.
exciting.
Yeah, so because we are present in that community now, they're like, okay, well, we need to expand because we see the need and want for it,
Right.
So it's exciting to be part of that.
How big's your staff?
How big is my staff? Just me. Just kidding.
Well,
During pandemic,
the
pretty
funding.
much.
Yeah.
No, I do have. I have a very small staff. If you come into one of our shows, you would think I have like 50, 100 people back there. But I have an incredible, strong staff of
Volunteer.
depending
You have a
on
lot of
the show, like
volunteers?
10 to 20. We have tons of volunteers.
Yeah, because when you go to our center, I don't go there often,
Yeah.
to make it clear. But when you go in there, it's like,
I'm shocked.
yeah,
I would
there's
never
all
known.
these volunteers. I love them. They're 80 or 90 years old, and they're just, like that. That's all I've been thinking about for the week, is that getting there and volunteering and directing you to the chair, and it's great. So you have a
Yeah.
big
We
volunteer.
do. We have a huge pool of some of the younger high school
What's-
kids
oh,
that
high
need
school.
to get all that stuff, and they love it. They love coming there. And then, like you mentioned, you have some of our older crowd that comes in because they just love seeing these shows. So yeah, our volunteers are actually been a big part of the success as well. So it's important to have them.
Yeah, even how about stage set builders and designers? Are those volunteers, or how does that work?
Well, with the Seminole Theater players, we have Frankie Navarro. Shout out to Frankie
Frankie.
Navarro.
Yay, Frankie!
Getting to him.
Frankie-
Awesome. Do it.
Oh yeah, you know Frankie.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
he's
what about who's
amazing.
Frankie? I love that name.
So-
Frankie
best.
Navarro.
He
is
plays shortstop for the Yankees.
No, get what he
is
does. Get what
one
he
of
does.
the greatest guys you'll ever meet. He's a military guy.
Military.
And he started out with Seminole Theater players volunteering to build all the sets that we did. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm talking complicated, multiple story sets on the Seminole Theater stage. And
Is he from Homestead?
He is, I
not.
believe. I think.
He lives there now?
He lives
He
there.
definitely lives down here. He's part of the color guard,
Right.
and they come in with the flags and
the military funerals.
yes, and that
stuff,
kind.
yeah.
An
Wow.
exceptional human being. I can't say enough
Exceptional.
great things about Frankie.
So then he ended up building, and we thought he was incredibly talented. And this man has an ability to get volunteers to work on his program like I haven't seen before. So he just gets there, and then I see 5 or 6 people working and I said, who are these guys, you know? And he's
Which
like,
we call it the shop wizards.
The
'cause
shop
they are
Is that what
the-
he's called?
They're the wizards.
he
truly.
brands them, and that's part of his
But
genius,
each person
you
has
know?
a title or something.
Yeah, he gives them titles. He gives them T-shirts. He's all about T-shirts. You know, the first thing he asks when we do a production is like, "What's the T-shirt going to look like, and when am I getting it?"
That's your right.
So he gets
Love
it.
it.
He brands it. He goes into the community. He recruits.
What's he do for a living?
He works at the base. He's in the military.
military, color
Yeah,
guard.
yeah.
Wow, full time, I guess.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So and then eventually we decided to our Hairspray, the first show you went to, that was the first one that we ever put on. And also shout out to Mickey McGuire, who
Yes.
Yeah.
was
Who,
the
Mickey?
instrument- Mickey McGuire, who was
Italian? I mean, Italian or Irish? He's Irish.
I think Irish.
Are you Irish?
McGuire.
You, hey, McGuire. Oh, does he have a bar down there?
No, that'd be great. He was actually
Or
our
maybe Scotty.
previous executive director. Someone who I'm very lucky to have learned all this from when I came in 2015. Unfortunately, he left us last year, I believe, to go to Georgia and pursue some other opportunities up there. But if it wasn't, honestly, if it wasn't for him, his hard work, and our team, I don't know how this theater would have made it this far.
Right.
So definitely, Mickey, if you're watching, thank you so much. I know our community appreciates it. I know we appreciate it personally. He was truly, the person that made it.
Great leader. Then
Yeah.
he was a great
He was
leader.
the one that was really in theater administration and theater arts. So with his knowledge, we were able to start a community theater program, but it just started out as a shot in the dark, So I don't think there was anything ever in Homestead in the 20 years that I was involved in different artistic projects there to get an audience to come to a show more than one time and to get more than 100, 200 people, something like that. So in Hairspray, that was our experiment, and we had 7 shows slated. And I remember going, we are going to lose so much money over this. Like, how in the world are we going to get this community, which typically wasn't a theater-going community, to fill up 6, 7 performances of something when we always struggled to get one? And we sold out.
Didn't
And it
you
was-
add? I thought at one
to
time you
add.
had to
We
add a
did.
show or two.
And it
just
was
to,
like, what is going on in this town that they're like this?
They're dying for entertainment. They're dying for live entertainment.
Exactly.
And one thing's going to a movie theater. You're at a movie theater and you don't talk to anybody. You're there, whoever you're with. You don't say a word, except for when you get popcorn. But when you go to a theater, hey, how are
that's
you?
my kid up there.
Right.
That's
And
my aunt up there.
And it
Being part
also
of it.
helped
Being part
that
of it.
we got top-notch quality, and we have a live orchestra.
Really?
Live orchestra for all of our adult music.
And where do they come from?
They are my friends.
Thank
You
you,
gotta
friends
pick-
of Tony. Thank you,
when we-
Tony's friends.
Well, we do pay them. It's a mix of volunteer.
Well, you pay for the parking or their.
Hey, there's free parking in downtown.
Well, we
Homestead.
have different kind of tiers. We have certain professionals that are the ones that are on all the major gigs around
Right.
here that do the Broadway
Right.
tours that come here. Then we have some of the students that are on their way to becoming that level, and we have kind of a mentoring situation that goes on. I remember for In the Heights, which is Lin-Manuel Miranda's his first Tony Award winning musical. It features a really strong trumpet player, So I called my friend up and I said, "Look, dude, like we really need a star to come down here on trumpet." And shout out to Doug.
Doug what? Doug. Shout out to you,
Thank you,
buddy.
Doug.
Why did I just blank on his name? I'm gonna get back to
I
you.
do that
Doug.
all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
I know it like the
In the
back of my
studio or
hand,
not.
but sometimes you see new things. And he's Gloria Stefan's trumpet player. One of
Wow.
So I was like, "Will you come down here?" And he came from Fort Lauderdale, like North Miami, every night to our show to just be the feature. And this, so when I say we have good quality musician, actors, singers, dancers in our theater, I'm not kidding you. Like we can rival all the professional theaters around.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to take a minute. We got to talk about South Dade Chamber. Okay?
All right.
That serves from 184th Street to the Keys.
to Florida
Let's-
Keys. And I have to give a couple awesome shout outs to some awesome trustees. One of them being your director of your board, Linda Fagan, Dr. Linda Fagan, who has fought for the Seminole Theater forever. It is her baby, it's her pride and joy. She's also on our board. So, Dr. Linda Fagan, for all that you've done for our community, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
We're a better place because of you. We also have K&G Cycle, George Maracas, and he does what at Seminole Theater?
He is actually our classic
Oh,
rock
the guy who
series
came down
sponsor.
here?
Yeah.
That guy is
He's
brilliant.
He's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
All the cool rock shows that you see, he helps.
He's a
me
rocker.
Pick them
He's
and
a
put them
rocker
all
at heart.
Together.
Yeah.
So he's been with us for a couple years, definitely supporting.
So he's a trustee. He's also on our board. He's our COO. We want to give a huge shout out to Dairy Queen. They are now trustee members of the chamber, the Homestead Dairy
Love a
Queen. They're
good
trustee
blizzard.
members of the chamber. I
You
got to
love
bring
what?
David
A
in.
good
He's amazing.
blizzard.
The good
Oh
blizzard.
yeah, you can't beat a good blizzard,
Oreos
right?
or
Especially
Reese's
down in
Pieces.
South
You don't have to
Dade.
tell me. I love chocolate ice cream and the blizzard.
So Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay, they have
Way to go, Louie!
another member who has elevated their trustee level, and Bondon Chevrolet as
Wow.
well. And because of you, Peter Schnebley's are now trustee.
God,
members
he
of our
broke
chamber.
up. He broke up the piggy bank to get that,
Still
Peter.
waiting on Bill Hansen. I know it's coming. He was here a couple weeks ago, and he's the guy who you guys had to become trustee members. I forgot to tell you that, by the way. But these are awesome. Whenever you have trustees, you can almost guarantee that they are community leaders. I mean, they recognize that, how valuable it is to engage in the community, to be on volunteer boards. All of our boards, they're all volunteers. They don't get paid to do any of this. And then we have volunteers on top of that, just like you guys do. So a huge shout out to those folks who volunteer to be on our board, who are trustee members, who engage in our community. It makes our communities what they are when we have our leaders, our business leaders, engaging and giving back to their communities. That's what makes it so
Any new
special.
members this week?
So this new member we got to give, you guys are going to love him. I think you need to call them up. The Lime Agency. So woohoo, the
What's-
Lime
what's the
Agency.
Lime- what is
A
that?
group of young professionals. By
young?
the way, we've started
50?
up our 40 or below.
Oh.
We through Carolina have started back up our young professionals committee. We'd love to have them meet one time over at Seminole Theater as well, at least one of their monthly meetings. Can't say enough great things about that. Lime Agency, they're all about marketing, promoting your business, websites, all that kind of stuff. I'm having a call with them later on today, by the way, to get to know them better. They just joined, so welcome aboard, Lime Agency. We love you guys.
Woo!
Can't wait to get to
By
know
the way,
you better.
I just heard through my earplug, I got a hello, this is Grant Miller here, that the chamber, when everything gets better, they're going to have a challenge of all your members on stage. This is what I just heard. You just told me in my ear. That all members are going to challenge. They're going to have a sing-off or performance on stage against each other.
Exactly.
I love
Exactly.
that.
That would be
Let's
great.
make it happen.
People all go. I could. We all sing in the shower, right? You're gonna have all these people competing.
Not me. You don't.
not singing?
I will be behind the scenes.
Have you
helping
seen the new
guys.
series that you don't know if they're really a singer or not?
They're
Oh.
like masked singers.
No, not the mask.
The one that comes on after the mask.
Yeah, I love it.
You do?
Oh, I think it's. Well, I'm not an actor. I'm not a performer.
You
Okay.
got the look. You got the
You know
Tony
what?
look.
Because I've worked on so many productions, like I know how
You can tell how they're dressed.
unrealistic it is
Yeah.
and what they're doing to make you think that something is real that's not real.
Remember-
how they distort the voices and they make them sound like they're actually not good when they are, and it's a lot of parlor tricks
Well,
that
that-
go on.
All right, can you read a few of the
Yeah,
viewers,
yeah.
except for that one you'll see? But go ahead.
Okay.
But if you like that show, watch it. I'm not
Manuel
trying to take it
Jr.
away.
and Stacy, Michelle Morgan, welcome. Cecilia, Dan Raljansky,
Sorry, give us
Felipe,
Hey, give-
Hermanos,
Okay, go ahead.
Chelsea Sylvia, Annie Hoffman, Jose Osanen, Idenia. What happened to all the Johns and Franks of the
There
world?
ain't none.
I
No, we don't have those anymore.
Homestead's changing.
know.
Touche.
Grace, we have a Grace. She's watching. Thank you, Grace, for watching. You have such an easy name. Luis Garcia, Jacqueline Munilla, and Kerry Barra.
Do you have any people watching your line?
So
Let me check. Oh, come back to me.
Come back to me, baby.
it's all going. I think it all now goes
Goes
through
here?
you. Is
You
what's
okay?
happening.
Yeah.
So they're all
Okay.
watching
All
through
connected.
you.
Well,
So
while
it's
you're
all
doing that,
connected
Doug
to them.
Michaels.
Doug
That's your last name.
Michaels,
Doug
you're the
Michaels.
man.
Go, Doug.
The trumpet player.
The trumpet player, yeah.
Okay, so
Next time you're bringing your violin, by the way, you got away with it this time, but I told
Right.
Catherine. But next time you're bringing
Okay.
the violin.
all right, Catherine, Tony.
You play the fiddle.
Uh-oh.
Here,
Play
here are the
fiddle.
challenges. You ready?
Oh gosh. Okay.
You ready? Ready? You don't know.
Tony, jump in at any time.
You're a superhero. Go as a kid.
Black Widow.
Black
Ooh.
Widow. Wow.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Superman.
All the way.
That's it. As a kid, I don't want to know now. Did you have a favorite politician other than Abe Lincoln?
As a young person,
As
I plead the fifth.
As a kid?
please,
Okay.
please a fifth.
I'm gonna get in trouble for it, but Bill Clinton.
We all do.
No,
we all
have
get
a
it
person.
right.
All right. Your favorite place to have French fries?
Oh my gosh, my house. I make some amazing french
Oh.
fries.
Oh,
Are they
oh,
crispy?
wait,
Are they a little crispy? I
They
like them
are.
crispy.
They have to be.
I love
Yeah, of
crispy.
course.
Okay.
McDonald's
of
for
course.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Name family members' birthdays. Go.
Oh boy. June 18th, my mother. 11/16, my niece. My sister, April 11th. Oh, my dad's gonna kill me. That's all I can
That's
remember.
okay. That's sorry.
That's good.
Go, Tony.
June
Well,
6th. June
the-
6th. Okay.
The late parents, mom was March 9th, dad was October 24th, sister May 21st, brother April 14th.
You're a great brother.
But
God, oh my
Yeah,
neck.
yeah, that's
All right.
amazing.
Okay, you can't say your house anymore.
Okay.
Where do you eat? Where's your favorite place you eat fish in Homestead? Go,
South
Catherine.
I don't
I'd
really.
take a short drive to Key Largo where there's some amazing.
Good.
Yeah,
Which one? Give me
yeah.
one of them.
The one I can't remember the name.
I know, right?
Okay.
It's something about the studio. I
Yeah,
just all go
okay.
blank.
Tacos. Name a taco place you like in Homestead. Anywhere.
The one right next to Miami-Dade College. Don't know the name, but it's amazing.
It's funny. We all have that. The restaurant, pass the light, take a left, take a right. Go ahead.
Taco Bell.
Oh my God. And you're a performer?
It's cheap and it's quick.
Yeah, cheap.
Just go through a
Your
drive-through.
favorite football team?
The Broncos.
The Broncos.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna-
Why?
Oh,
Why?
Don't
That's where I
apologize.
was in Colorado. I went to school in Colorado.
Which one?
Yeah,
UCCS, University of Colorado Springs.
Colorado
Nice.
Springs.
Yeah.
That's
you're a long way
it's the
from home.
Olympics.
They do. The Olympic Training Center is there. Yeah.
Go.
I'm a hurricane.
You got it, baby.
Uh,
Okay. Your favorite burger place? Where do you eat burgers?
If I do eat a burger, probably it's a Big Mac.
God,
This-
it's,
I
you're
love
a
it. He's a
before-
junk food junkie like me.
Go.
Love it.
Five Guys probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's another great burger
Have you ever
place.
had the burgers from Chefs on the Run?
Try it.
Oh,
Now-
actually, take my answer back.
Okay,
That's
Chefs
probably-
that really
Favorite
good,
pizza
really
place?
good.
Definitely Capri.
Oh.
You don't make enough money. That's what I'm hearing.
I will-
I hear you don't make enough money.
Get in trouble. There's too many sponsors of a pizza place.
Hot dog place. Any hot dog
I
places?
didn't know there were hot dog places.
See, we need one down in Homestead, everybody. We need a hot dog place in
hot dogs
Homestead.
and hamburgers.
Oh, very
Los
good.
perros.
Los Perros. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Trinidadian, you see that pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you have to
I'm
learn
impressed.
down here.
Thanksgiving. Is there a certain Thanksgiving you remember as a kid?
I mean, just always having my sister's in the military, so it's always special to have her come down. Yeah.
Always college because all the.
Where do you go to college?
University of Miami.
Okay.
All the foreign exchange students in my classes used to come over to my mom's, and she would cook for everybody.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Don't say there's no places in Homestead. Chicken. Where do you eat your chicken? What restaurant?
Are you vegetarian? Are you
Me? No chicken.
He doesn't make
No.
enough money. That's why he's underpaid. He's an
gonna bring you-
actor.
Right?
We can get some moms
Okay,
around the neighborhood
okay,
and bring
next.
you some dinners, okay? Home cooked
I'm
meals.
a good cook. I cook at home.
All right, sushi. Where do you like sushi?
Oof, I can't pick. I love sushi. I could eat it everywhere.
Everywhere and anywhere.
Sushi samba.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I love sushi.
Yeah,
samba.
yeah.
Ah, see?
Yeah.
Okay. Christmas. Come on, I'm a pretty good performer already.
All right,
Okay.
you are.
Okay. Your favorite Christmas gift as a kid?
The original Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, that's a new
which
one.
I knew I was gonna get, but my parents wrapped it up and gave it to my dad instead, and made me feel like I didn't have it until I almost was shedding tears. And then my dad said, "You can open my present," and then I ripped it open. And it was there.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Money. I just like money.
Oh, gift
Wow.
cards.
Let's get
Oh,
to the
money
punch.
gift cards.
She's a
Hey,
gold
that-
digger,
that's my
but,
girl right there. That's my
Okay. That was the quiz for today. You both passed. So,
girl. By the
What do we
way,
win?
a booby
free
prize.
ticket to a Seminole Theater performance.
Hey, really, I really appreciate you guys coming from Homestead. I know it took a day and a half by horse and by car,
Buggy.
by buggy. But really, what you guys are doing is helping all of South Dade. So, community newspapers, thank you.
Yeah.
thank you
Thank you.
for having us.
Thank you for having
Can
us.
I say
Come on.
one thing about when you say how Homestead has changed? It made
Yeah.
me think. I grew up a block away from the Nousberry farm, and when I was a kid, I used to play with all the Amish kids or the German Baptist kids on the bales of hay for the strawberries. And I just looked at them maybe a year ago when they were open, and they weren't allowed to have televisions and radios and all that stuff at that time. And so I used to go there to like play a computer game. And they used to come to my house to watch television and listen to radio. And now I see they have online business there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay.
They open on
things have
Saturday.
changed.
They had
Wow.
6-hour wait on Saturday. People waiting for 6 hours.
You can get
They're
on the
It's
internet.
renowned,
and, like,
renowned.
They have
Gotta go
changed.
there.
Things change.
Yeah.
So it's a wrap today. Carrie, anything else about South Dade
South
Chamber?
Dade's amazing. Shop, drink, dine, local.
Well, you notice that
and
other
the
chambers.
Local theater.
I have to interrupt her. Every other chamber,
This happens every week.
live, play, work. No, South Dade is live, play, work, and drink.
And drink.
All right.
And, you know,
Hey. That's what
everyone's
we
got to
bring up the
hydrate.
house.
Okay, but your
That's right.
place has beer and wine, correct?
We have it all, full bar,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. And
Really?
sodas.
Are the
They have
prices good?
sodas.
Yeah, best in town.
Wow.
In town.
We should get Robert is here to come over and have like a little makeshift station. Do the smoothies over there.
Absolutely, yeah. We
Yeah.
love
Okay,
working with
Heather.
our local
Heather's here last week. We'll
Can
get
I-
her on it.
Can I plug one of our events?
Absolutely. Look at the middle camera.
Right there.
Go.
Okay, so there are a few performances going on with the Seminole Theater that you may want to plug, but the one that I'm going to plug with our community theater, since we have been shut down since the pandemic, we've come up with a COVID Christmas, which is going to be the big cities bringing in the Christmas spirit. And we are going to be trying something new this year, which is utilizing the parking garage rooftop.
Oh,
You were talking about a wall
Yes,
cast.
yes,
We
yes.
are going to be live casting on the top of the parking garage with food and drink up there. It's a tailgate kind of event where you go up there with your car. You've got your space. The space next to you is your tailgating space that you can bring people
Super
in there
cool.
with you.
That's really
Super
good.
creative. That
It's
is
gonna
awesome.
Snow. Well,
Let's
I don't wanna
broadcast
give too
from
much
there.
away.
Let's broadcast
But-
from there. Let's do a
Yeah, I
live
think
feed from there.
We could do
you
that.
can live
Okay.
feed from your home if you don't want to go out, because who knows what it's going to be like then. You've got the parking garage. You've got in person in the theater as well to watch it live. There's going to be singers, dancers. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Laser light
Love
show.
it.
It's going to snow inside there. So a COVID Christmas. It just came out. I think it was just announced.
This is the announcement right
Oh,
here.
this
Nice.
is the announcement.
This is
Nice.
it. Yay!
Way to go! Way to go!
So you can
creative.
get those tickets.
Yes, at www.seminoletheater.org.
That's so
Awesome.
easy.
That's December.
December 11th, 12th, and 13th.
All right, let's all look at the camera over there. Far camera. That far one. Grant Miller here. Miami Community Newspapers with South Dade Shoutout. Have a great night.